that, it was uni.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess your uni experience, how did that differ from school? I feel like uni, you can pick your own groups more.
Yes.
Obviously, you're that bit older, so mentally you may be in a better position to manage your mental health and
Yeah.
you can make your own decisions to help it better, can't you? How was that?
Uni was a fresh start for me, and a very much needed fresh start of just, okay, let's leave all the people that I've had issues with and grown up with, and all the bad memories and like cringy moments that I've had. Like, let's all leave that behind. It's a blank new start. Like, it's going to be the same me, but it's just new, and then we can just go for it. And I did. I did. I made the most out of uni. I've obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I've graduated with a first class honours degree.
That's great.
Also did extracurriculum stuff where I was been awarded the Hallam Gold Award.
Wow.
Also was nominated for Inspirational Student, but never went any further with that. So my time was at uni was to, like, the much needed fresh start, like I said, but also for mentally it was both a fantastic time but a really, really difficult time again. And 2023 winter was the lowest I got since before going through Thrive.
Okay.
Mainly because of how I was and like not happy with the place I was at. I got really, really, really frustrated with myself and like being stuck at doing part-time work at the weekends and not socialising as much and just not being busy.
Yeah.
And because of that, I just fell into a real deep, dark depression. And at that time, I started a photography series called Anarchy. And it started way back in November of 2022. And I didn't really start feeling like the heavy depression, until late January 2023. But I found, like, looking back on it, I found it really interesting that even though I wasn't in that real deep, dark depression, I was making really concerning work. And it was like, looking back on it, it was just like all the preliminary, all the like early warning signs were there, but I didn't really feel it until then.
Yeah.
And like it only took until my pa getting diagnosed with cancer, and then his passing in March 2023 until I dove myself out of it. And that was a real tough start to last year. 2023.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine how hard it was.
Yeah, and like it was like the rock of the family as well. And like with my mum and dad and their working situation, like if my dad couldn't pick us up from school, he'd always offer and sacrifice his life, and just everything he did for us was just
oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I've been missing dearly.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. What was, around that November time, I guess, was there any triggers, or was it that self-pressure of not doing good enough?
I think it was the self-pressure of not doing good enough, and also like just Instagram feeding me shit of like,
realistic,
like, oh, this is the life you could have if you like worked hard and did stuff. And obviously like Andrew Tate's showing all this crap that he does, and like that was, I think, the main firing point. I think I was working hard myself and like trying to grow the business, so like updating websites, constantly posting, like trying to be on it every single day, every hour, every waking minute. And then that anxiety and annoyance for myself of, oh, I haven't done a lot today, or I haven't done anything, I think led to that which led to that burnout. And I think it was burnout that was the main trigger for that deep, dark depression.
And what was, if you can even remember them, what were some of those, I guess, signs and stuff that you did notice, you know, looking back on that sort of time
Obviously,
period?
it was the photo series that I started.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some of the, like, it was just all very dark black and white images. But I think it was just like trying to work constantly and like sitting at the desk and like trying to think of stuff to do and just and obviously just trying to do it but also not doing it by just being on Instagram and whatnot and just going like that.
I guess it's double-edged sword for you, is it? Because your job, photography and videography, Instagram, they go hand in hand, don't they? Websites, hand in hand, like it's all very digital.
Yeah.
So it must be very easy to get drawn into it.
Yeah, and like, so I didn't have the camera equipment I wanted. I was like frustrated with the equipment not being up to the high standard that I set myself, even though I wasn't nowhere near that high standard. You know, frustrated at the work that I was making, frustrated at not getting enough jobs, frustrated at being like having to constantly say, "Oh, I'll do this job for free just to get the job." So yeah, it was just that real difficult time of just trying to do everything at 200%, even though you know we're capable of, and just ignoring the signs of, you know, not wanting to work, not having the motivation and whatnot, and just you know, just being a blob, not exercising, not going out and playing football, not just sitting in the room and just.
When he got ill, that must have obviously, you know, shaken the family up, shaken you up. Obviously, it sounds like you had such a strong and amazing relationship. Yeah. What was that wake up call for you? What was it? His passing and thinking, what am I doing? Or was there anything? Because it sounds like he passed away, and then you were like, I need to sort myself out now. Like, what am I doing? What was that like? 'Cause it must have been awful. Like, normally it's the other way around, isn't it? When someone passes, you go really downhill, and you know, and it can be really hard, especially losing like your grandpa, grandma, whoever, you know. I guess your parents, I think can be really hard.
And especially with how much he did all the sacrifices he did, especially with me being a child and teenager and whatnot. Like, if it wasn't him picking me up, it would be my nan or my other grandparents picking me up from school, because mum and dad working the long hours. I mean, even for a brief time period, my nan was a dinner lady at my primary school. One, because she needed the work because of her previous job collapsed, but also just to look after me and just, you know, see if I was okay and whatnot. So both grandparents have done a lot of sacrificing for me and my brother to get to the point where we both are in our lives. But like I said, the walks he did with us, like going to the Peak District, going to Curva Edge, and you know, just going out and exploring and just, you know, just laughing at the world, just taking the absolute mick of everything, not having a care in the world, you know, stuff like that. And it was just, it was just an incredible man.
What was it like afterwards then? What was that wake up call, I guess, for you?
I don't really know. I just I think it was the needed break I needed, like to just like not be hard on myself and just like work myself into the ground. But also it gave me that time to just switch off from everything and just really focus on what was important, and that was like visiting him, calling him, and just making sure he was okay. And the one time that I went to the Peak District, and the first time I went to the Peak District before we learnt about his cancer diagnosis was the night he passed, and that was and the photo that I have is it sends chills every time I look at it, because it's just like the clouds was covered all day, wasn't expecting sunset, and then it just appeared out of nowhere and just, made it like the Lion King movie, but it was the opposite of like, instead of rising, it was falling.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I got back. My dad called me that he had sepsis and rushed back, and by the time I got back, he passed. So
yeah, no, it must be really hard. But I guess what a beautiful way though to sort of end it, like like you said, and to have that photo. It's I guess a nice symbol to have.
Yeah,
of him and your relationship.
Yeah, it's nice, but it is a horrible photo.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that then, because you still, what are you in second year? Was that second year?
Yeah, that was second year.
Yeah. What was the rest of you like? 'Cause you just smashed it, obviously coming out with a first and stuff. What really helped you, I guess, plough through that? I think you're doing great now. You've set yourself up. Are you still putting as much pressure on yourself, and are you putting too much pressure on yourself? And is there anything you've learned to try and bring you back in to think, well, actually no, this is like, I'm still just 22, this is sort of the early stages of my life here to develop and build on myself. What
I mean, the aspect of wanting to be freelance and throwing the day job is still there, and I'm still wanting to do more and more. And like, I mean, some nights I'm like, I'd still have the old habits of like going like frustrated because I don't have the energy to do something like even with some of the stuff that I've done for the Baton of Hope, it's taken me a lot longer to do, mainly because of like thinking, I can do that as soon as I get back off work, and then I get back off work and I'm just like a blob. But that's the thing though, it's like like the job I'm in is very manually it's very intensive in that sense, but also like if I'm supporting doing the assistant team lead role now and again, that's also mentally draining for me, and especially with my Erling syndrome that I have, my learning condition, like doing schoolwork and anything academic or reading or processing information, that is a lot of energy that I have to have to it takes a lot of energy to do.
So then it's more draining, I think.
Yeah,
one thing I've tried to learn is just trying to learn, I'm still not good at it, that it's okay to not have to, like you were saying about those time things and stuff, just setting yourself that bit of extra time and stuff. I guess, is there anything you have learned that just helps you get through that, or is it still part of this learning journey? You've graduated uni and you sort of still quite early on, aren't you, into your career, so
I mean, there's two things at the moment for me. One is just trying to like obviously do more again, but try not be as hard as myself. But the other thing is to just not give up, and that's the thing and that's what my pa said to me was he didn't want me to be in the factory like he was for his life, and like or be in the pit or whatever. He wanted us, me and my brother, to do what we wanted, and like to work our butts off to get there. And well, that's for everybody in the family. It's like, you don't work in a line of work that you don't want, that you're not passionate about. Do something that's gonna fulfill you, and that's where I want to go. So it's those two things. It's just like, I mean, since his passing, I've always said like it lit a fire in me again.
That's
like
nice.
It gave me the motivation to work hard and just to keep going, and like obviously take the breaks where needed, and just keep checking in with myself and just figuring out where I am and stuff. I've checked in with myself this year, like with moving to Manchester, and then thrown in uni. I'm a bit lost on where to place myself. Like there's aspects like I want to stay in Manchester. There's a lot of like media jobs out there that there's a possibility for, but also the sense of everything is over this way, over Sheffield, Derbyshire way. So it's just like, oh, okay, then it's all right being in there, but I'm not getting the jobs at the moment. So where do I place myself?
Yeah, it
And
must be tricky.
it's just something that I've just got to figure out within myself.
Yeah, it'll come, won't it?
Yeah.
I love Manchester. Manchester's great, isn't it? But yeah, it's no Sheffield, is it? Or
No.
Derbyshire, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think and you're over here so much, aren't you? I think, but having that balance and just having that time somewhere else can really help you. So I guess progress and look at what you want next. And
yeah, and that's another thing as well. Is like I've started to become more active again, and like obviously I don't have that football outlet because I at the moment work Thursday, Sunday, so I don't have the weekends to enjoy it yet. But hopefully I'll be able to transfer to Wednesday, Saturday, so I might have the opportunity to join a football team if I want to.
Yeah.
But in between that, I started running last 2023, like towards the end of it, and it's like really picked it up in 2024. So, and that's been a real help for me.
Yeah.
Especially like with trying to set myself a goal and just chase it.
Yeah.
It's like whether it's a faster 5k time or 10k or even half marathon now, because I've signed myself up for one. Like that goal, and like it's a solo sport, so, and just like with football, because I was a goalkeeper as well. That solo pressure of, okay, if I don't like push myself, then I'm not going to do anything good. So let's try to do our best, and that's all you can do, and that's it.
That's great. No, it's really good, and I think you've got some good focus going forward as well. That you've learned. I think you've learned a lot from your past experience, really.
Yeah.
No, I guess just before we go, is there any wisdom tips you'd like to share with people? I guess just from your experience of life so far.
I don't know if how I am, and some of the coping mechanisms that I have is gonna work well for everybody, especially with like some, like with Thrive, like trying to turn the anxiety on its head and like, okay, can I control it? No. Is there anything I can do about it? No. So don't worry about it. Then there's some things that I don't think is recommended, but obviously if you're in a really deep dark place, obviously talk about it, go to people you trust, seek medical advice if it gets to that stage, and just know that there's people out there that care about you, even if it's a stranger, they still care about you. I mean, I don't think any random person I don't think any random person would just not care about somebody if they was on.
Oh no, yeah.
If they was thinking about it and like actually like planning to kill themselves and whatnot. So obviously, just go out there and just be yourself, really. And that's the thing as well. It's like just try and accept yourself for who you are as well. Like, there's some things that I'm trying to still work on. I mean, my hair's one of it. Like, I've got to a point where I'm comfortable. Well, I got comfortable with my hair, and now I'm starting to lose my hair, and that's why I'm wearing hats all the time and stuff. But that's the thing that I'm trying to work on and trying to get comfortable
Horrible,
with.
Isn't it, losing your hair?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
mate.
That's probably why I haven't been to the barbers for ages, so that's why it's all messy and stuff.
Yeah, my barber knocked a £5 off my haircut, because it was thinning that much, honestly. Yeah. That was a sad time.
Yeah.
That was so sad. But I think, hair's a whole another topic of conversation, I think, for lads, isn't it? Because it is, I could talk for ages about the effects of going bald. And James, my manager and stuff, he's completely bald, so that makes me feel slightly better. But
yeah. I mean,
there's
at some point I've got to bite the dust, but I just don't want to.
No, I think you're doing good for now. You're doing better than me anyway. So
well, that's because I'm wearing hats all the time.
My little sunroof's getting bigger, I tell you. But
no, I think I'm similar to you as well. But that I wear hats all the time because I can't.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I sweat too much when I wear hats.
Horrible.
I ruin them all the time. But no, thank you for that. I really appreciate what you're sharing. I guess just one thing. Well, for people that don't know, we'll put some information in about Thrive. So Thrive is a great sort of social prescribing support around mental health and well-being. It was for adults, obviously we now do it for children, young people as well. It was led by Chesterfield Football Club Community Trust, but it's obviously across Derbyshire. Your GPs can help you get referred into it if your local sort of PCN GP area subscribe to it. But we'll put some information around it because I think it's revolutionised really how young people and adults can get support for mental health and well-being. Ben's already shared how great you found it.
Yeah, and it's good as well just to try and like, especially when you're a teenager and you're unsure about the world around you, it's a good way for it to put into context and actually you get a better understanding of what you do, what you're saying to yourself and stuff like that. So you just get a better understanding. It's just really helpful.
That's great.
And then that's half the battle. If you understand it, then you know how to deal with it, and then it's just dealing with it at that point.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think some of the great stories that have come out of Thrive are phenomenal from young people. So yeah, we'll pop some information in around that. And I think this conversation just highlights how much we've still got to do regarding suicide prevention and mental health.
Yeah.
And especially in the LGBTQ community, there's still so much poor mental health, suicidal thoughts, and suicides that we can do more to reach out and support each other. And I really appreciate you just sharing your story of it, because I'm sure people that will be listening maybe still going through themselves, and just provides that reassurance that it will be okay. And it's great to see how far you've come. To say you're 22, and this is the reason I said to you before why I thought you were older, is just because you are just so professional and on it, and just with your progress and what you want to do and your ambitions and stuff. Not many 22-year-olds, I don't think, no disrespect, are as switched on. So I think you've done really well so far, and should be really proud of how far you've come. But you've got a long way to go, because wait till you're 28.
Yeah, I mean,
the dreaded 30s.
And that's the whole reason why I kind of signed up for it all, and just really start to get involved with the Baton of Hope and you guys at the council and stuff. That Buxton Day really opened my eyes of I have come a long way. And that's so good. There was a specific moment in the thingy where I just had 5 minutes to myself, and I was just Jesus Christ. The journey I've been on is crazy. And that's when I came to you at the end of it, I want to come on the podcast, because that was the reason why. That day really just put into context of, crap, this has been a really long journey so far, and and how much I've come. Yeah. It really struck me on that day.
Wow. That's so good to hear. And and you have moments, don't you, where you just, and you're through the Baton of Hope and stuff, and just with my job, you sit there and sometimes you're just I just can't believe what's happened or where I am and stuff. And most times it's really helpful, isn't it? I think sometimes to look back and think, look where I am, and how proud your family will be of you and stuff like that. I think it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, and especially at that time period as well. It's it feels so long since my past passed, but also it's we're coming up to the second anniversary in March, and it still feels like it happened 5 years ago for me anyway.
It's still raw.
It's raw in some aspects, but I'm just I don't know how I've coped with it, and I had a real obviously the grieving phase of it, and not wanting to go back to work and whatnot. But I think from probably that time period, I was really busy. I was head of putting on an exhibition for my group for our second year at degree, and I was real deep into organising everything, working with a charity to raise money, and also producing my own work as well. So I had a lot of things going on, and on that day as well, after I gave a speech and thanked everybody for coming and just say let's celebrate and stuff, I went over to my nan and who baked a load of buns for everybody. So I gave her a candle because she wasn't accepting any cash for it because she's a pain in the ass. But no, I was like, I can't not give you anything, so I gave her a candle. And like after I finished the speech, I went over and just gave them all a hug and just sobbed for a minute or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where I was going with it, but it's just crazy on how fast everything's gone, but also like crazy how little time's passed.
Yeah.
And especially with like me coming out as well, it's like I'm still in that. I'm still trying to learn about myself and like how I can help cope with what it means and stuff, and like doing research and stuff. But I know I'm just trying to live the best life, and that's it.
Best you can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's great. Thank you. And thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
It's been great. Yeah. So like we said at the start, if you do fancy seeing what else we're up to, you can follow the Baton of Hope on social media. They've also got a website as well, Baton of Hope Derbyshire. But if you want to keep in touch with our mental health and suicide prevention team, just follow us on social media at DCCMHSP. And then for local support, we'll pop some links in the bottom. But if you just search Derby and Derbyshire Emotional Health and Wellbeing website, there's also information on there. So thanks Ben, cheers.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. Woo.